Yo, this is Jay from Straight Smoke Gaming, and in today's video, we are bringing you the post-Week 6 NFL Power Rankings. This is a new series that me and Orb started this year for the NFL season. At the end of every week, we go through and we do power rankings based on how the teams play, injuries, everything, quality wins, stuff like that. This is subjective, so go ahead and make sure you comment down below what you guys think, if you think we missed anything, if we're forgetting or leaving anything out. But let's go and get started. Starting off first with 32, you got the Carolina Panthers. That's exactly where they were last week. No surprise there. The Panthers just aren't good. I'm not really sure what the problem is. They looked good with Andy Dalton, but they kind of evened out now, not too good. 31 Tennessee Titans, they drop one spot from last week. And the Titans just aren't good either. Will Levis, not good. They can't win any games. These guys, I don't really think that these teams here are really debatable. Jacksonville Jaguars -2. I don't know what the Jaguars' problem is. They got Evan Ingram back, another offensive weapon. You would think that helps them, but they get embarrassed in London to the Chicago Bears. So the Jaguars just aren't good. I would imagine their coach is on the hot seat. And at 29, the Browns, that's exactly where they were last week. The Browns just aren't good. Don't get me wrong, they played a good game this week. They were close to beating the Philadelphia Eagles in Philly, but Deshaun Watson just sucks. Maybe getting Nick Chubb back will help the offense and help Deshaun Watson a little bit more. But as of right now, based on what I'm seeing, the Browns just suck. And it sucks because Stefanski's a good coach. Watson just isn't good. At 28, you got the New England Patriots moving up 3 spots. We got to see Drake May for the first time this year, and he looked pretty good. He did turn over the ball twice, but, he's a rookie quarterback, first start, that's expected. The big thing here is the offensive passing game was completely different with him in there as opposed to Jacoby Brissett. So as long as he's the starting quarterback, hopefully Patriots fans have something to look forward to. The Las Vegas Raiders sitting at 27. They dropped 2 spots. The Raiders aren't good. Don't get me wrong. The Steelers, on paper, record-wise, they're good. I don't think they're all that good, though, and I don't see how the Raiders got embarrassed by them. So that's why they dropped 2 spots and are currently sitting at 27. 26, you got the Miami Dolphins. That's exactly where they were last week. They were on a bye week, didn't really do anything to move or fall. So there's that. They're sitting at 26. Not much to talk about there. 25, you got the Rams moving up 2 spots. They were on a bye week this week too. They didn't really do much, but the main reason that they did end up moving up is because Cooper Kupp is supposed to be coming back this week. He had a pretty good workout or practice, whatever you want to call it. So hopefully that is a sign in the right direction for this team getting a little bit more healthy. 24, you got the Arizona Cardinals. They dropped 5 spots, and they just got embarrassed by the Green Bay Packers. Earlier in the year, I was saying the Cardinals are kind of a sneaky team that you got to give it some respect to. But after this loss, the Packers kind of just had their way with them. Dobbs had 2 touchdowns. It was ugly. The offense struggled for the Cardinals. 23, you got the New Orleans Saints. They dropped 7 spots. This team is really bad with injuries. Spencer Rattler got the first taste of NFL action. He didn't do too bad. He was going against the hard team. He looked good in the first half, kind of struggled in the second half, but when you're playing from down and you kind of have to eliminate the run game, it's a lot harder. So that's that. At 22, you got the Dallas Cowboys. They dropped 10 spots. The Cowboys suck. I don't know what else to say. They're just not good. They're frauds. They paid Dak a lot of money, and they're struggling to find an offensive line and other pieces to put around them. They're injured with Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence out. The Cowboys just aren't good this year. Not much more to say for that. At 21, you got the Denver Broncos. They fall 1 spot. They had a loss. Bo Nix looked okay, I guess. Not much to say there. At 20, you got the New York Giants, plus 3 spots. Don't be wrong, the Giants, they're not really that good. But what this team has is they have fight. They were in it with the Cowboys a couple weeks ago. They were in it with the Bengals this week. This team, they're not, on paper, you wouldn't think that they're good, but they just seem to keep themselves in games. I don't know how, so that's why they're moving up 3 spots. It was a loss, but I was impressed with how they played on Sunday Night Football. 19, you got the Indianapolis Colts, plus 5. This was a team that was struggling with injuries a little bit, still kind of struggled with injuries with Jonathan Taylor, but Anthony Richardson is supposed to be back, so hopefully With that happening, this team will get a little bit more healthy, and hopefully they can kind of hit the stride that we are all hoping for. I would like to see what Anthony Richardson really is made of, and hopefully he can have a healthy career and a healthy rest of the season. At 18, the New York Jets +5. The Jets look good this week. It was a good game last night. Divisional matchup. They looked good. They were, quite honestly, a Greg Zuerlein field goal or two made from winning the game. So I don't really fault the Jets on that one. That's mainly the kicker. And then the Cincinnati Bengals +4. I don't really know what to say about the Bengals. I mean, they're not blowing teams out like I was expecting. At 16, you got the Chicago Bears moving up 2 spots. The Bears seem to look like they're kind of hitting the stride that we were all expecting. Caleb Williams is doing a lot better. The offense is looking good. The defense has been good all year, but they're beating bad teams. All 4 of their wins are against teams that have 1 win. So that's why I can't put them higher. If they do beat a quality opponent, a good opponent, maybe we could talk about moving them up. 15, you got the Seattle Seahawks dropping 4 spots. Big loss Thursday night against the San Francisco 49ers. That one hurts. That's a divisional matchup. That's why they dropped 4 spots, because, I mean, it's kind of hard to say you're a top 10 team or close to a top 10 team if you're not even the best team in your division. At 14, you got the Philadelphia Eagles. They dropped 1 spot solely because it was a bad win. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about by that, but they beat the Browns in Philly barely. That's not something that I'm going to credit them with. You're not going to look at the end of the year and argue that as a reason as to why they should be a playoff team or a legit contender. So that's why they dropped 1 spot. It was a win, but nothing to brag about. 13, the Pittsburgh Steelers +2. Same thing there. It was a win against the Raiders, but nothing really to brag about. At 12, you got the Los Angeles Chargers moving up 5 spots. The Chargers, they seem to look healthy a little bit more after their bye. Herbert looked good. The run game still looked good. So as long as that team can keep trending in the right direction, this team they might be something to worry about here. They might be kind of that sneaky team I was talking about the Cardinals potentially being. At 11, you got the San Francisco 49ers moving up 3 spots. Like I was saying, as soon as McCaffrey comes back, this team will get a lot better. They did sustain an injury with Jordan Mason, but the backup filled right in, didn't skip a beat. That offensive run game is good, and that offense in general is just good. At 10, you got the Buffalo Bills. They dropped 2 spots. They got the win this week. It was a close one. James Cook did get hurt, so that's going to drop them down a little bit because we do go by injuries and stuff like that and affecting the team. They looked good. It was just I expected them to do a little bit better against the Jets than what they did. They kind of let the Jets hang in there for a little bit too long. And then the Atlanta Falcons, they stay neutral. They beat the Carolina Panthers. So nothing really to move them up, nothing really to drop them. It was a good win, but again, Carolina Panthers. At 8, Washington Commanders dropping 3 spots with the loss to the Baltimore Ravens. It was a good game. I believe it was a 1-score loss. They were in it the entire game. They weren't a blowout. So that's why I'm still keeping them in the top 10, because the Commanders, they're playing really well right now, and they're competing with really good teams and winning. This week just so happened to be a loss, but it was a close game. 7, you got the Green Bay Packers staying put. They beat the Arizona Cardinals. Like I said, Cardinals kind of disappointed this week. Nothing really to move them up or down. They did dominate, so that's a plus. But the team ahead of them, the Houston Texans at 6, also dominated, and they scored more points against the New England Patriots. So both of those 2 teams, they beat lower-end teams, so that's why they're going to be staying exactly where they were from last week. At 5, you got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers moving up 5 spots. The Bucs had a really good game. The offense was good. 50 points scored. They were all in on the Saints. They did not let up. They had the game won in the 4th quarter, and they were still passing. This is a divisional rivalry. You could tell it was a rivalry. The Bucs were literally trying to kill the Saints, and that's pretty much what they did. But the Saints are banged up, but they still do move up 5 spots. The Detroit Lions staying neutral at 4. That's interesting because Aiden Hutchinson's done for the year with a broken tibia. So, I could justify moving them down. I'm not going to, just because of what they did to the Dallas Cowboys. That was that was a slaughter. The Cowboys, they went into Dallas and did that. That was a crazy game. They're sitting at 4, but I can't justify moving them up solely because of the Aiden Hutchinson injury, and he is the main part of that defense in my book. At 3, Minnesota Vikings. They were on a bye week. They stay exactly where they were. didn't really do much to move themselves up or down. Baltimore Ravens staying neutral. They got the win, but it was a close game. Good game. That offense is looking better. The Ravens team is looking better in general. So that's why they're sitting at 2 right now, because when they are clicking like this, I think they could hang with any team in the NFL. And at number 1, the Kansas City Chiefs still staying where they were last week. They were also on a bye week. Didn't really do much to move themselves up or down. So, I mean, with the top 10 this week and last week, all the teams won except for the Commanders. So it's kind of hard to justify moving too much for any team. But those are our rankings. Like I was saying, this does change every week. We try to move teams accordingly based on how they play, injuries, all those types of things. But, when your top 10 teams from the week before win and then you have 2 of them on buys, it's kind of hard to justify really moving them. But like I was saying at the beginning, go ahead and comment down below. Let us know what you guys think. This is subjective. We like to hear those things, and we do kind of take that into our rankings for next week. But when it comes to this video, that's all we got. So if you enjoyed, please remember to like and sub for more Madden content, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.